that's as high as it'll go. I'll try and back it up more so you guys can see more. This is their newest 2024 model. The other two they don't have the dual front fork suspension. This box is like 104 pounds. What is? This one does 88 kilometers an hour. Yeah, this one will do 88 kilometers an hour, and then its max range is like 96 kilometers. So you'll probably get like 85 to 90 kilometers range out of it in all reality. So we'll do another video for a range test. This thing's gonna be crazy fast. Yeah, it's dual motor, 5,600 watts. It's two 2,800 watt motors. We'll see how hard this is, because like I said, it's 104 pounds. Hopefully, I'm hoping it's just like a slide off top box, but I've also seen ones of these where you got to open the top and pull the whole thing out, so let's see. You guys like my choice of box cutter tool? And it looks like it is the style of box where you got to pull it out of the top. So let's see how smooth this goes. Here's the seat it comes with. I ain't gonna use it. It's gonna get tossed aside for a dust collector, but I'll open it for the video so you guys can see what it looks like. Looks like it's got some big springs on it for a little cushion. The padding on it, it's got the plastic bottom. Quite a bit of padding. They didn't cheap out on the staples, so it looks like the seat should sit on it for that. I may use it if I go camping or something, just to boot around the campsite. But I mainly wanted this for a stand-up scooter, but we'll keep it. Doesn't look like anything crazy expensive, but it doesn't look super cheap either, so I'll put this aside. Are we live again, guys? I don't know if... There we go. I was getting a voicemail. So, it's got your handlebar pouch. I have a huge chain lock, but I also have a small disc brake alarm lock. You guys can't really see me, but yeah, put your phone, your wallet, other little things on there if you don't want to wear a backpack and you're just going for a ride, so you don't need your big heavy chain lock. I use my backpack for my chain lock, but it's pretty sturdy. Lots of little compartments in there. At the top, it's got a little thing to hang your keys off so they don't go missing. Put aside. I always forget to silence my phone, guys, here. So you don't get interrupted again. What's going on, Martin? Alright, this is gonna be fun. Now we have to pull this 104-pound scooter out of the box. Just thinking. There's some other stuff that can come up first. Let's see if I can lift this up and get some of it out. No, you know what? It's all wrapped in the scooter. We're just gonna have to pull this thing right out. I'll put it down, get the box out of the way, and then we'll keep going with the video. Honestly, for 104 pounds, that wasn't as bad as I was thinking. Okay, let's get this thing out of the way. Supposed to get a storm today, so by the time I get this charged up, I don't know if I'll have a chance to go for a ride, but we'll see. Okay, I'll back this up so you can see a little better. So far, looks like it's got some pretty fat forks on it. We'll just lower this down a little. back it up too. This is by no means a light scooter to just toss in your trunk, but it would probably fit in the trunk. Okay, so I just gotta figure out how to unlock this tip. I think I see how it unlocks here. Is there one on both sides? No. This part I might get stuck for a minute, guys. Oh, I see that. Who's that? But does that go down afterwards? You need to open the instructions first, please. Wherever that booklet is. Oh, I see it. Okay, I got the release now. There we go. That'll do it. And that comes out. That feels locked. I think that's locked. Yeah, it's solid. Okay. I see. Cool. Alright. But I need to get the kickstand on this thing now. Alright, looks like we gotta do the kickstand next. And then I'll get the camera raised up because you can't really see the top right now. Got this tool bag out. I was expecting it to be big, guys, but not this big. This is huge. It's 104 pounds. Getting that one started, and then I'll get this one started, and then I'll get them all the way in. Once I'm done the unboxing and putting it together, I'll give you guys a full walk around of it. Make sure that's actually going in nicely. I don't know why, but that feels like it's trying to cross thread. So I like to put them both in first to avoid this, but this one went in real nice and easy. might be cross-threaded, hopefully not. Those threads also, even looking at that one, don't look like they were cut very nice. So that'll be one negative thing off the bat about this. But looking at this, it might be cross-threaded. Yeah, I think it just wasn't tapped very well. I'll look at the end of the bolt and find out. I think it's just spinning in there at this point. And it is. Oh, that's not good. So it looks like right off the bat, we cross-threaded. And this is why we do our unboxings live, guys, so you get to see everything. So we really have no option but to cross-thread it in there as far as we can. And that bolt's just gonna have to stick out a little bit. Yep, that's all we're getting on that one, guys. So hopefully this one will hold enough. I think that might have been my mistake, because I'm such an awkward angle to get it in straight. Just hope the other one works proper. Yeah, this one's going in smooth. I definitely just got a little bit of a bad angle there because of how I'm sitting here. Kind of a really awkward angle. But I'll cut that other one off and honestly probably just JB weld it on here. That's fine. Not the end of the world. Because, yeah, that thing's on there. It ain't going nowhere for what it is. I think this one's just going to sit there and spin now, but we'll see if we can get it in anymore. Yeah, that's it for that one. That's alright. Like I said, that thing's on there. Okay, let's continue on. So I'll raise this up a bit more so we can get a better angle. I'll raise it back, or like there, and then I'll back it up. Can't believe I cross-threaded that, guys. That was a big fail on my part, but what can you do? I mean, really, it's a kickstand that takes no weight on it, so it's not the end of the world. Okay, let's continue. And this thing does have dual charge ports, so it comes with 2 chargers as well. I think we'll start off getting the handlebars assembled, and then we'll keep going. So yeah, I won't blame that cross-threading on the manufacturer. That was definitely me just trying to put that bolt in at a bad angle. But that should be an easy fix. Honestly, I'm just gonna rip my way through this one. There's not a lot of it. And then you do get some nice handlebars on these ones too. They're more like mountain bike handlebars than those cheap little straight across scooter handlebars. Yeah, those are fairly beefy handlebars, for sure. So we'll get the quality control pass off of there. And they do use the Easy Peel sticker for their quality control pass, so you don't get that nasty residue stuck on the handlebars. Happy with them for doing that. These are very, very light aluminum handlebars. Really nice. And the keys are just strapped right onto the handlebars, which is awesome. Get those keys off right now. Put those in my pocket so I don't lose them. I'm gonna wait to uncover this till we get the handlebars on so I don't scratch it up with the handlebars. Alright, we're not cross-threading these ones. These are important. These aren't just a kickstand. So yeah, this tool I believe has, or this multi-tool, I believe it has every tool you need to service this entire scooter, which is pretty awesome. And this is a really, really sturdy shaft. I'm looking down it, it's not hollow, it actually has like octagons all the way down through it. So, super solid shaft on this thing, guys. It's not like the cheap ones that are just gonna snap on you. Alright. So we're gonna hand thread these ones too, make sure they don't get cross-threaded. Thinking it should probably be, it's supposed to be somewhat forward like that, so. Okay, well I'm gonna get it started and then we'll do our final adjustments on the handlebar before we actually tighten it down. I always like to go from one side to the other. Baby spider in there. So I'll go like bottom left, top right, top left, bottom right. Kind of like doing lug nuts on a car. You don't want to just go in a circle. You want to stagger them. Be very careful not to cross thread or strip any of these, as it is all aluminum components on the top. So if you feel any resistance at all, because these should go in very smoothly. Back it out and start again before you cross thread it. So we're just doing, like I said, doing these snug for now. And then I'll stand the scooter up and see what feels right. Just making sure that's going in right. I'm gonna back that out because it did have a tiny bit of resistance. No, we're good within the right threads. I think what happened there is we're getting a little pinch because this side's tight, so we'll back that off a little. Back this off. Go back in. Yeah, that's not crossed, we're good. Alright. So before we go any further, I'm going to stand this up. Kind of get an idea of what I want this to feel like. Center it. We are going to have to adjust where the brakes are at. I like the throttle and handle position here. You'll need to kind of get up on it. There. Just boost myself up a little. Kind of go on my tippy toes. Yeah, that feels good there for the... You want to go by grip and throttle position because the rest of those components you can adjust. So I'm going to go with right here. Yeah, that feels good. Get two of these cinched down. Lock us in place. Now we'll get the rest done. And we got a storm coming in like 20 minutes, half hour, so pretty much be over there. As soon as I'm done this, probably gonna have to get it in and charge it. Yeah, so all their stickers and covers that are meant to peel off are all easy peel, so there's no residue left over. I really like that. Sometimes companies will use cheap stickers and you get all that nasty residue left behind. And you know, get these snug obviously because you don't want to strip the handlebar. If you go loose, you'll strip the handlebar and then you're in all kinds of trouble, but more importantly, you don't want to strip these aluminum components with the bolts. So be mindful of both of those. You don't want to... Also, I'd suggest getting a better angle when putting these in because I did manage to cross thread that one, but luckily this thing's so tight without it. With just the one, I'll get some epoxy or something in there, some JB Weld, and put it back together with the one bolt and cut that one off, but just be mindful of that. Okay, so now we can get this off. Got a lot of turning radius too. Just want to see it right here. So do you see a spot on here of concern? There's a pinch point on this one wire. To be fair, you're not going to turn that far, but there is some rubbing on the one wire there. I'm going to zap strap that down. So be mindful of that. The wire harness on the right side of the scooter is going to have a rub. I do see a good spot. I could zap strap it down, so we'll take care of that later. actually. As for the headlights, so if I go a little there, I think it'll be safe actually. I think it's gonna be good. Yeah, I just had to move that headlight forward around a little bit. So I guess we'll get the stuff off here so I can get on the deck before I make my final adjustments on the brakes and everything. We should probably get this display checked out too, because it might have to mount. I might have to mount this display with the handlebar. I should have actually checked that first. That's alright though. So yeah, it looks like the display does mount on these two front ones. It does, that's alright. You can go back a step. That was my bed. But we are set. Get all those back there. Oh, that was the right side. Okay. Get this side loose. It should still be fairly snug enough to hold the position in the handlebar, but I'll have to raise it a little bit. I know where I want it though by eyeball now. This does come with a mile/hour one, but if you're in Canada, when you do receive the scooter, the Zsnake offered to send me a km/h display, so I will give Zsnake a props for that. Like I said, you want to hand thread these at least 4 turns in to make sure you're not cross-threading. That one just dropped it in there. And nice. Make sure these handles are where I want them still. Yeah, that feels good. These have really nice palm rest too on the grips. I like that. Really nice big display on this thing too. Yeah, so when my other display comes in, I'm assuming it's just gonna be the display, not this mount, so I shouldn't have to mess with the handlebars anymore. See, that one already is kind of stiff. It didn't get many threads in there. Handlebars are good. It's sturdy. Yeah, those aren't going nowhere. Plug that in. Lock the display cover. And comes with a bike holder. It looks pretty cheap. I don't know if I'll use it. Just out of the box, it looks cheap, but we'll see. Oh yeah. So honestly, I might just keep this in the box and sell it on Marketplace or something, but pretty cheap. I wouldn't trust my $2,000 phone in this thing. I'm sure it'd work, but it's very, very cheap looking. I would recommend spending $20 or $30 on a good one. So yeah, that's gonna get tossed aside. Actually, you know what? I might stick it on my e-bike just for other people to use when we go on a ride. Assuming these are the 2 chargers. Take a look at them, see what their quality looks like. Get these boxes out of here. So it does have a cooling fan, that's always a really good sign. Pretty light. Feels like if I got dropped a few times it would crack from, you know, like shoulder height. But yeah, it's not the hardest plastic. Cord looks alright. It's pretty rubbery, it's not that really nasty. Cheap stuff. The plug on it isn't the high-end thread-on ones like it shows in the photos on Amazon. But I can live with that. So, not terrible. It's rated at 67.2 volts at DC at 2 amps output current. So about 140 watts each. So when this is charging with both of them, you're looking at probably 280 watts max, so probably 250 in all reality. So yeah, about 250, so a kilowatt hour every 4 hours of charging. And it's like this is this. I love that. So at the very bottom of everything that's buried is the instruction manual, but this is pretty straightforward if you have any mechanical knowledge. Not a lot to do here. If anyone wants to see the specs, there's the specs there. I don't know if that, I don't think the camera's reversed, so you might not be able to see that proper. So maximum load 330 pounds, 11-inch tires, 2,800 watt motors, lithium battery. By the way, it's a 60 volt, 30 amp hour lithium battery. And then yeah, it's got the multifunction LED display, dual LED headlights. So I believe these are just components for the seat. Yes, the seat does come mounted. First thing I'm gonna rip off this thing is the seat. And if you guys want to see the seat, it is at the beginning of the video when this uploads. So you do get 4 spare brake pads. And they are hydraulic disc brakes. Hydraulic assisted disc brakes. And get a wrench here. So I'm just gonna leave. Actually, I'll take it off so you guys can see it, but it's gotten stored away. So does have the seat mount on. There's a little safety pin you gotta push in. So let's try that for a minute. I'm just gonna hold it up there. I'm not actually gonna put it together, but see, that goes forward there. Yeah. Basically that would be it with the seat on it. But that's coming off. Because I'm using this for sport as a stand-up scooter. So that's coming off. all that's gonna get stored in the shop. I actually should have this thing charging right now while I'm doing this, but that's alright because it's gonna rain. Huge thunderstorm coming, so I'm not gonna have a chance to ride it anyways today, probably. Yeah, it's almost ready to give you guys a walk around. So far, the only bad thing I have to say is, for some reason, this bolt is too short and it wants to strip, but the three of them seem to be holding it good. I may get a longer one so that can be done properly down the road, but so far, so that one and this cross-threaded, but like I said, I was leaning over it like this to do it, so that very well was probably my fault. And the one's holding up good, so we'll deal with that with some epoxy and the one bolt to hold it. So I would suggest putting, we'll see if these, yeah, see these holes are all the way through. These threaded holes go all the way through the platform. So I would, unless they have some cap ones, no they don't, I would recommend rethreading these back into the platform so there's not 4 holes in there for water to get into your electrical components. And this base for the seat feels very sturdy, by the way, I forgot to mention that. So you got a little blue Loctite on these, so it takes a bit before you can hand thread them out. It's nice to see that they actually use Loctite though. And obviously it's not red, it's blue, so it is removable, but it just helps keep it in there a little nicer. So yeah, like I said, I'm gonna thread these back in there. They're not gonna be sticking up high enough to bother me. So, but I wouldn't mind getting some of the ones like the ones up front here, so they aren't sticking up so high. But honestly, it's just a little extra something for your feet to catch on anyway. But those do stick up high. It is surprising they wouldn't give you a few of these styled ones, the flush mount ones. But oh, like I said, it shouldn't bother me too much. Maybe we can swap those at the back. No, I'm not even gonna do that. I'll just leave it. So it looks like there is air gap in there. Yeah, you do need to put these back on, or this is loose. So yeah, you definitely have to put these back in. I will have to check though and see if they did, because it doesn't make sense that they wouldn't. No, that's everything. That's the whole kit. So I guess, yeah, so far this one, top one, these top 2 pins could be a lot longer. Actually no, that other one goes through, so it's not even too short. Just for some reason it stripped out and I didn't even go too tight on it. So yeah, they should almost go steel for that part instead of aluminum, but what I'll do is I'll take that out, get some red Loctite and put it back on with red Loctite. So that they could do a better job with tapping that hole for that, because it definitely wasn't the best tap. I looked at the other side, both of them were really like aggressively tapped. It wasn't nice and clean, so when they do the tap and die or whatever, I guess it would only be tapping, but when they tap the threads in there, they could do a better job. And they should give you 4 flush mount bolts for this back plate if you're not running the seat, because these do stick up quite a bit higher than I would like them to be. And it's gonna end up making me putting like a bit of unwanted pressure on the bottom of your shoes. So far, I've only had to use 2 different Allen keys to put this together, but I am gonna adjust and modify where some of the like the brake levers and that stuff on the handlebar. So there is some handlebar adjustments I'm gonna use the other Allen keys for, but yeah. So far the 3 complaints are this should not be aluminum because it's so easy to strip aluminum handle mounts. They should always be steel. Aluminum handlebars fine, aluminum shaft fine, but the mounting plate itself, where the threads are, should be steel. But 2 bottom ones are thick. What I may be able to do is put some Loctite in there on those, and then I can get it snug again. And then yeah, these bolts these bolts should have smaller ones to replace it without the seats, and then that shaft should be steel for the mounting bolts or hardware, and they need to tap those threads on the kickstand a lot cleaner because yeah, they were really roughly tapped, and the threads were just garbage, so I ended up cross-threading one of the bolts. Other than that, no other complaints yet. This is loose enough to slide right now. I could use maybe some tiny bit of silicone or something to hold it in place, but if you want to replace the handle grips, that is a bonus because they will be able to come off not too difficult. So horn's good. Signal light's right. So this signal light's a little, might be because it hasn't been used yet, but there we go. The signal light was really stiff at first. I got it working now. We'll have to test that because of that. Horn button's nice, signals are moving nice now, same with the headlights. Throttle feels really nice. It's got a good strong spring in it to bring it back up, so it should be very responsive when you let off of it. Feels a little cheap for the speed settings in the Duel and Eco mode, but as long as they function, that's the main thing. So all those feel alright to where I want them to be. I do need to, basically I think I'm just going to have to adjust, even see this brake here, that feels good. This brake feels nice where it's at. So that's different. So this side is your rear brake, which is different, and then the right side is your front brake. It's the opposite of a pedal brake, but we'll go with that for a bit because you do want to brake a little more with the front anyway, so that you still get steering. So just going to adjust this a tiny bit. It does have a really nice set screw to adjust how much travel of the lever you got to do to get it to work. And it does not take much pressure at all because they're hydraulic assisted. Or I don't even know hydraulic assist, but hydraulic. Very responsive brakes. Yeah, I like that. Very strong brakes. So that feels good there. Tighten that up. Well guys, just we'll put the key in it, make sure everything fires up, and then I'll give you guys a walk around, an actual walk around, and then yeah, probably do a full review on it soon. This is more of just an unboxing video. This is kind of what it looks like. It's got really huge shocks on it. Super stable bar. Like, and honestly, actually, like, those big bolts, you don't even notice it. Like, these are very grippy shoes, but so maybe some flat-footed bottoms you'd notice those bolts, but it's not terrible. If anything, like I said, it gives you a little more grip. So it's not terrible. Turn the key on. Just gonna get you guys off here and flip the screen. It's literally just starting to rain, so perfect timing. So I'll turn this off first. I'll boot it up. So like I said, this is in miles per hour. The odometer is 0, so we'll go on speed 1, speed 2, speed 3, that all works. Duel off. And I believe in Eco, you actually can't run Duel, so we'll put Eco on. It's not showing anything for Eco, maybe you gotta hold it. No. So Eco, I think you gotta go 1. I can't remember, but so far Eco doesn't display anything. So I'll have to figure that out. I'll have to read the instructions on that. And then this is your battery voltage here. Try the horn. Not bad. Do the signal light. There's your signal light there. And then go right signal. There's your right signal there. And then we'll do the lights. So turn those on. I'll have to do these at night. You can't see it as well, but it looks really cool in person. And then you got those ones too. Definitely have to try the lights at night though. And then you have your tail light. The camera doesn't do justice on the lights because it's daytime. Hopefully it'll do better. And then let's try braking. So I will have to loosen my brakes a bit because by the time I'm on a good application, it comes on. So I'll back those off a bit. There we go. Now when the brake applies, it's going, yeah, okay. And then this for other one. Yeah, we'll have to loosen those off a bit too. There we go. So make sure you adjust your brake levers so that your brake light's coming on by the time your brakes actually start activating. Because, yeah, you don't want to be activating your brakes before that brake light comes on, or kind of defeats the whole purpose of a brake light. So give you guys a full walk around. Get these nice big grips with the palm rest on them. There's your adjuster to adjust the travel of these. You got your Duel and it does let you know when Duel's on. Eco, it doesn't tell you on there, but it does say seated down and pops back out when it's disengaged. This is solid all the way up, right to the handlebars. They did a really good job on like wrapping all the wires up nicely. And yeah, solid bar all the way up to the top. It's got some really fat shocks, you can see. Got some nice 11-inch tires. And honestly, very nice brakes. Really nice brakes. There's this cross-threaded bolt I did, but that one is holding it down nice. You can adjust the height of this for how much curved you want to be. It's got some really nice shocks back here too. Very, very fat cross arm there. And quite a sturdy fender, honestly. A really sturdy fender. And that back plate's super strong too, so. Overall, I'm pretty happy with it, guys. I'm gonna have to charge it up though. You guys can probably see the raindrops starting to collect on the ground. It just started raining, so. That's it, guys. We'll do a final review, or, you know, an actual review of riding it when it's charged up. I don't want to take it for its first ride not fully charged. And we'll do a range test video. We'll do a actual review on it after an initial review after riding it. And maybe I'll get the GoPro set up and we'll actually get, well, for the range test, I'll get the GoPro set up and we'll actually get some footage of riding the thing. All right, guys, that's it for this.